I'm Steven, and I'm a level 1 chef.
I'm Julie, and I'm a level 2 chef.
I'm Frank. I've been a professional chef for 23 years.
My girlfriend wanted to go out to more Italian restaurants. They were charging us $23 for Fettuccine Alfredo, and I was like, absolutely not. I'll go and make my own fettuccine at home. And now I have a happy relationship.
I make pasta a couple of times a week. It reminds me of the summer that I spent in Cortina d'Ampezzo.
I really like Fettuccine Alfredo. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients, and everyone loves it. I'm gonna make pasta dough, and I'm gonna start with some 00 flour. This is the grandma style pasta making. No mixer required. And then I'm gonna do 3 egg yolks. Keep mixing it until it's not really wet anymore, and I'm gonna slowly gather in the flour from the sides. I want this pasta to be fairly dry, because if it's really wet, it's hard to handle when you roll it out. If we roll it out at this point, it's gonna snap back, because the proteins are so tense right now. I'm gonna wrap it so it doesn't get a dry skin on it. If the pasta gets a skin on it, it's gonna be really hard to roll out. And that's it. That's how grandma would do it. A nice, smooth, firm dough.
It's pasta. It's not rocket science. Just do it. I got my store-bought fettuccine. Cost me 99 cents.
I like to use fresh pasta because it has a really nice consistency and soaks up the sauce.
Now that the water is boiling, like my blood, once people criticize my fettuccine, place the store-bought fettuccine in. We're gonna add some salt. Not too much.
Now we're gonna heavily salt this.
Don't add too much salt in the beginning because it just throws off the whole dynamic. Then you just have really, really salty pasta. Then you're gonna find yourself at Olive Garden spending $15, $20 on pasta when you could have just had it for $5.
I have a nice old granny machine here. I started out at the lowest setting, and now all we're gonna do is go down the numbers. You don't wanna rush this because if you jump through the numbers or you jump through the thicknesses, your pasta will kind of start to tear. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shave some fresh summer truffle, black summer truffle. I have a mandolin. This is extremely dangerous, but I want these shavings of truffle to be super, super paper thin and laminated, and then we're gonna have a nice kind of sandwich of the truffles and the pasta. And I cut it in half because that's kind of the length of the fettuccine that I want for this. Stack them and roll them. Fettuccine, some people think it's really thick, some people think it's really thin. I'm just going with what I think is close to what fettuccine is, okay?
Couple of things. I like dry pasta, but fresh pasta soaks in some sauces.
Fresh pasta only takes 2 to 3 minutes to cook. The key to a good pasta, you want the water to be moving to move that pasta around. A lot of boiling water, more than you need.
Don't use a lot of water. Because we're not using cream, we want the water to be really starchy because that'll help bind the sauce together.
Doesn't go to 11?
I don't know the scientific facts behind this. This is what I learned from my nonna in northern Italy. A wooden spoon doesn't let the pasta stick together.
You want to let it sit in the water until it's a little bit hard.
Only cook it 3/4 of the way.
Just a touch undercooked.
Try to get as much as you can out of the water without burning your face. No fettuccine left behind.
I don't mind some of that pasta water on there. This is something that everyone throws away.
We're gonna use this as our sauce base.
So now we're gonna prepare the vegetables so it can be prepared for the fettuccine later. Add a little bit of garlic, broccoli, then our mushrooms so it can look pretty, like myself. Nobody wants saltless vegetables. Paprika, black pepper. I think I put too much pepper. It's like in my salad. This looks like a lot now, but if you've cooked with spinach in the past, you know that this will go down very, very quickly. Voila, boom.
Originally, Fettuccine Alfredo is pasta al burro, which is pasta with butter. So, surprise. A whole wheel of cheese. This is grana padano, a close cousin of Parmesan. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some of that pasta water that we saved, that nice starchy pasta water.
We're gonna add the heavy cream.
Now I told you no cream, but I didn't say anything about butter. We're using a lot of butter.
I use cultured butter. Has a little funk to it.
Place it into the pan.
So rather than dump a whole stick of butter in, we're gonna cut it in so that we can make our sauce creamy and emulsify it. They have 2 secret weapons. This one's not so secret because it's cheese. And I like it grated finely because it's easier to make a nice creamy sauce.
So instead of grating the cheese, you're just scraping the cheese that you feel you're gonna need.
I'm from the Caribbean. We like to use nutmeg in a lot of different things. This nutmeg comes from a tree outside my aunt's house in Mandeville, Jamaica. I get them smuggled in. And I like to use this little microplane. Look at that beautiful brown nutmeg. Bubble and meld those flavors together.
Just about right.
You can see that my pasta is boiling now. I'm gonna dump it right into my cheese and give it a good stir. You can see it right away, right? What happens? I start to get a beautiful creamy sauce.
This is what I'm talking about. Coming to come, as my mother used to say. We're gonna put our pasta in, toss, plate, and dress.
We have reached our final stage where we will incorporate everything into one pan and it will be ready for us to plate. Ooh. I brought a bottle of sauce from the store just in case I messed it up. Okay.
Anybody who tells you not to use your hands when you're cooking, you gotta get your hands in the food, man. Come on.
You want to have a good balance between pasta and sauce. I would say pasta 45. I would say sauce 55. That equals 100? That sounds right. I wish you could smell this at home. Creeping on level 2 territory right now.
The old spoon in the pot trick seems to have worked. And now we're ready to plate.
I like to put the Parmesan at the bottom because later on I'll mix the pasta with the Parmesan. Nothing gets left behind.
I have this beautiful creamy sauce without any cream. It's just butter, pasta water, and cheese.
Now, a couple of things you're gonna do. A little bit more of the Jamaican secret weapon, nutmeg.
A nice helping of truffles. The thinner the better on these. You don't want them to be too thick.
I love Parmesan. Every time I go to the restaurants, I give the person like carpal tunnels. They like say when, I never say when.
Fresh cracked black pepper, always. That stuff that sits on the shelf that's ground up already is dead. This is kind of still alive. It has a nice kind of sharpness to it.
I like a little bit of parsley to make the plate look nice.
And here is my Fettuccine Alfredo.
Voila, Fettuccine Alfredo.
You want to serve it right away. Once the warmth hits the truffles, they're going to give off this beautiful truffle aroma.
This looks so good. I almost don't want to try it. All right, here we go.
That's really good.
Delicious.
Good job. Shouldn't talk with my mouth full. This is very tasty. Anytime I get a request to go out, I will cook this and you can add as much Parmesan without the judgment of restaurants.
I think I hit it out of the park. This is a great recipe for a dinner party. Everybody loves cheese. It looks pretty. And because you saw how easy it was, you got a dinner party, man.
Fettuccine Alfredo the way it's meant to be. I would serve Fettuccine Alfredo during the holidays. It's kind of a labor of love, and especially if you're gonna put truffles on it, you gotta really like these people, okay?
Go away, I'm gonna eat now.
We saw 3 different chefs combine 3 different sauces and pastas to make their own Fettuccine Alfredo. Stephen used store-bought dried pasta, Julie used store-bought fresh pasta, and Frank crafted homemade pasta. Store-bought dry pasta contains only 2 ingredients, flour and water. Julie's store-bought fresh pasta and Frank's homemade pasta are both similar to dry pasta but also contain eggs. Pasta is composed of a network of proteins holding together starch molecules. The 2 essential chemical compounds in pasta, carbohydrates and proteins, vary in their ratio in fresh and dried pasta. Stephen's pasta has considerably more starch than Julie and Frank's pasta. His requires a longer cooking time to completely hydrate the starch molecules.
Keep it separated because pasta, like good friends, likes to stick together.
The eggs in Julie and Frank's fresh pasta increase the overall protein content, requiring a shorter cook time to completely hydrate the starch molecules and cook the fettuccine. Alfredo sauce is distinguishable by its velvety and creamy mouthfeel and overall richness. The creaminess can be accomplished by including milk fat or starches. The sauce is an emulsion, a combination of typically unmixable liquids into one homogeneous sauce. Stephen made an American-style Alfredo sauce by combining heavy cream, butter, and cheese to form a silky mixture. Julie and Frank made an Italian-style Alfredo sauce by emulsifying butter with pasta water and adding cheese to create a thickened sauce.
This pasta water, this is key to this sauce.
The butter and cream in Stephen's sauce both contain a high quantity of milk fat. The flavor compounds locked into the milk fat, particularly lactones and sulfurous compounds, will provide a deep buttery flavor to Stephen's sauce. Milk fat also contains phospholipids. Phospholipids are amphiphilic, both water-loving and fat-loving, and will help keep Stephen's sauce completely emulsified. To account for the less milk fat, Julie and Frank used starchy pasta water to help thicken the Alfredo sauce. Julie made her sauce by heating pasta water in a pan and slowly whisking in butter to emulsify or bring together the water and butter mixture into one homogeneous mixture.
Kind of good.
Frank combined hot pasta water and melted butter to create an emulsified sauce. He then tossed the pasta and added the saucy fettuccine mixture into a carved-out wheel of grana padano. The starch molecules in the pasta water will swell and thicken Frank and Julie's sauce, creating a richness without the addition of cream. They also included butter, which dispersed throughout the pasta water, creating an even textured and smooth sauce.
And it doesn't work well unless you get it all over yourself, okay? You gotta get it everywhere.
All of our chefs tossed their pasta in the sauce before plating the dish. The residual starches on the outside of the cooked pasta will allow the sauce to cling to the outside and thoroughly coat the fettuccine. Each chef crafted a distinct flavor profile for their sauce. Steven added Parmesan and garlic and mixed in mushrooms, spinach, and broccoli.
The garlic is like creeping into my nose, but it's a good creep.
The dry store-bought pasta will hold its own against the heaviness and rich flavor in the sauce. Parsley for garnish provides an earthy flavor and classic appearance to the dish. Julie used only a few ingredients to flavor her sauce: Parmesan, nutmeg, and parsley. The combination of Parmesan and nutmeg will provide a subtle nutty flavor perfectly suited for the tender fresh pasta. Frank used cultured butter, truffles, pepper, and grana padano cheese to deepen the flavor of his Alfredo sauce. He tossed the pasta inside a wheel of grana padano cheese before plating. The hot pasta melted the walls of the cheese wheel, heightening the cheesy flavor and texture in Frank's dish. Cultured butter has been made with bacterial cultures. The bacteria converts some of the sugars into lactic acid, which produces diacetyl, a butter flavor compound, and butyric acid, a tangy flavored fatty acid. Paired with salty grana padano cheese and woody truffles, Frank's dish has a distinct flavor profile.
Using that cultured butter gives it that little sharpness. It's delicious. Every day beats the creamy sauce.
Toss some of these tips into your next pasta night for a rich and delicious fettuccine Alfredo.